Welcome to Resiliency Command, where failure is temporary. Now here's an overview of what we're going to go over today. Here's basically what Resiliency Command is aiming to do, what it's all about. Fostering resilience, cultivate mental, physical, and spiritual resilience through Brazilian jiu-jitsu and well-being practices. Integrating disciplines, merge martial arts training with mental health strategies and spiritual growth initiatives. Community support. Build a supportive, inclusive community for individuals seeking growth, healing, and strength. Open source curriculum. Develop a transparent, collaborative curriculum that encourages contribution and adaptation by the community. Accessibility. Make Resiliency Command accessible to diverse populations, ensuring programs are inclusive and adaptable to different needs. Sustainable impact. Ensure the initiative is sustainable with a focus on long-term impact on individuals and communities. Global reach. Expand the program globally, adapting to different cultures and communities, and spread the mission of resilience. AI integration. Develop and implement an AI system for jiu-jitsu refereeing to enhance fairness and efficiency in competitions. Economic opportunities. Create employment and economic opportunities through AI, referee system, and expanded program offerings. Continuous improvement. Embrace feedback and continuous learning to evolve and enhance the program offerings and impact. Phase 1. Conceptualization and planning. Define the vision. Clearly articulate the mission, goals, and unique value proposition of Resiliency Command. Research and feasibility study. Conduct market research, analyze competition, and assess the feasibility of the project. Building a core team. Identify and recruit key individuals whose expertise aligns with the project's needs. So this is definitely where we're at right now in phase 1. I'm still defining a solid mission statement and value proposition. I've pretty much stated it over and over again in different ways, but I have yet to come up with the official mission statement and vision. Researching and feasibility. So, in order to do this, I'm going to be reaching out to gyms, cold calling, reaching out and assessing the need, establishing that it's a niche market, but there is a demand for mobile jiu-jitsu service, and building a core team. I've already begun this phase, or part of phase 1 rather. I have a pretty big network on LinkedIn, mostly military or prior military or retired military members, a lot of recruiters, some healthcare professionals, starting to reach out to some folks in education, specifically with the local university that I'm transferring into to get my bachelor's in exercise science. I've decided to leave cybersecurity and focus 100% on achieving this goal of making Resiliency Command a reality. And I feel like the only way I can do that is if I'm well qualified. I don't want to just be a personal trainer with some rinky-dink certification. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but compared to a bachelor's degree in exercise science, I want the more extensive way. I want the harder way. If I did a bachelor's once, I could do it again. Alright, phase 2. Curriculum development and testing. Curriculum design. So I'm going to develop a comprehensive curriculum that integrates Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, mental resilience practices, and spiritual growth. We haven't fleshed out exactly how that's going to come all together. I just know that I want to integrate those things together in an all-inclusive experience where the individual who is either signed themselves up for it or been nominated by family members, and they're gonna hand over their phone. They'll have no electronics. We'll be their means of emergency contact in case something happens in the outside world and they need to be notified. But basically, they're coming in with no chance of any distractions. That way, we will be most likely to achieve our goal of some sort of transformation inside them. Physical, mental, spiritual. We're going to break them down physically, wear them out, and then build them back up emotionally and spiritually. And they should leave physically exhausted but renewed at the same time. That's the goal. So pilot program, implement a small scale version of the program to gather feedback and make necessary adjustments. So the way to do this that I can see is basically we need to make it mobile. So we need a set of mats, maybe 10 by 20, maybe 10 by 30. I mean, depends, but probably 10 by 20, because that mimics closer to the size of the truck that I'm gonna get at some point, which the training space in the back of the truck is it opens up to 14, and then it's 17 feet long. So it opens up to 14 feet wide and 17 feet long when you expand it out. So 10 by 20 set of mats ought to be close enough. So what we're going to do with the pilot program is we'll be putting ads out for mobile jiu-jitsu as a local service that comes to you. And another way too is we can coordinate with local gyms and see how many of their members are sort of falling out. They're still paying, or maybe some people that dropped out, and we can use some of the profits from the rash guard sales and merchandise sales to create a scholarship program where we're reaching out to those that maybe have wanted to start but they never have, or a family member nominates them, or perhaps somebody who dropped out of jiu-jitsu because they can't afford it, or they had life obstacles get in the way. Whatever the case is, I want Resiliency Command to be there almost like a non-profit. And who knows, maybe someday it will turn into a non-profit, but for now I want to operate it sort of like one with a lot of give-backs. Obviously we gotta make some profit. We gotta pay the bills, can't just break even all the time. But I feel like there's definitely room for some scholarship opportunities with the profit margins that you're looking at with these rash guards that I've got. All right, phase 3, marketing and community building. So with brand development, obviously we want to create a strong brand identity. We've got the logo. I'm working on the website. I already own the domain, resilienccommand.com. I bought my name as well, travisolvaro.com. We already have a social media presence. I need to work on the Facebook page. It's a little outdated in some areas. It still says it's a manufacturing page for welding and stuff. Marketing strategy. Develop and implement a marketing strategy to raise awareness and attract participants and collaborators. So as we put out more content, more videos, we're going to be putting out more of a call to action to gain more collaborators and participants, specifically in the realm of a podcast that I'm going to be starting to fuel this movement and to encourage the open source development of our curriculum with some transparency in that everybody can follow along in the process of its development as you watch in the podcast and see how it evolves as I have new guests on the podcast and collaborators. So that's the plan for that. Phase 4, launch and expansion. Official launch, Resiliency Command with a full-scale program incorporating the curriculum, and eventually, I know this is on the slide right here, this isn't supposed to come up till later, but long-term goal is an AI referee system. Yeah, AI. So we'll touch on that in a little bit. We'll come back to the AI business. That's going to be at the last slide. So monitoring and feedback. Continuously monitoring the program's performance and collect participant feedback for ongoing improvement. So obviously, with it being open source, we're open to input from the outside, but we really want to concentrate on those that are going through the program. Utilize a lot of their feedback, how we can improve the program. But the reason I use the word indoctrination in the pitch video is because it almost has to be. When you're talking about somebody who's living a toxic lifestyle, or they've got a toxic mindset, they've got toxic habits, you've almost got to give them a big push and strip down away all these, at least the avenues to all these toxic habits and traits, and offer them another path, something new to, for lack of a better word, obsess over, a healthy obsession, one that's about self-development, one that if somebody's maybe they have an issue with drinking. I quit drinking in September of 2023, and I don't regret it. It helps with cardio performance, all that stuff, because you can never wake up after a night of drinking and just feel great, like you're ready to go run a few miles and tackle a big workout. It just doesn't work that way. And sure, when you're young, you can get away with doing stuff like that, but obviously the older you get, the harder it gets. And it's really just not good for your body to treat it like that. Alright, phase 5. Evaluation and sustainability. Impact assessments. Evaluate the social, physical, and mental impact of the program on participants. So this is going to be where the clinical aspect comes into it. Utilizing some counselors, maybe some behavioral health specialists, to really, and the participants have to be open to it too. That's kind of have to be a stipulation. If you come in, you have to be open to the counseling, you have to be open to the guidance, and a lot of self-reflection and journaling, or at least documentation, if it's with the film crew or however it is, whatever the style ends up being. If we turn it into a docuseries, who knows, but there's definitely got to be documentation of their progress and their mental status. So we're going to need some help from some professionals to gauge that and measure it in a clinical way, like I said. So sustainability planning. Develop a plan for financial sustainability, including potential revenue streams and funding opportunities. So just like any business, you've got to figure out a way to keep it afloat. And collaboration, profit sharing, what's the word I'm looking for? Revenue ownership, like if we collaborate as far as like getting email lists for potential new customers, and if we gain people from let's say there's a popular online fitness coach, and he shares his, or he or she shares their email list with us. Well, they might only do so for a cut of the profits. So maybe we can work out a deal where for every customer that we gain from their email list, they see a portion of the profits. So there's incentive for other entities, incentive on their part for us to survive as a business, because they want to see some of the profits too. So this is just some of the, I'm just touching on some stuff that I learned from this webinar that I've been attending this week on ClickFunnels. I missed some of it, so I have to go back and rewatch some of it. But because I signed up for the VIP access, I'm able to do that at a later time. I can go back and review the whole webinar, basically, anytime I want. So future roadmap. Outline future directions for growth, including new programs, technological advances, and market expansion. So this is going to take us right into slide 6. Now this is farther down the road, but I mean, who knows how open the individuals that I've reached out to, who knows how open they are, and what they're allowed to do within their organization. If creating an AI referee system, if whoever, I'm telling you, whoever catches this first, it's gonna blow up into something. There's gonna be a lot of training the AI and correcting the AI. And that's not to say that AI is going to replace real referees, but the idea is that it's going to allow the average Joe, the average grappler or fighter, MMA fighter or grappler, to step into the realm of competitive and profitable competition, fights, tournaments, for money. You can open up in certain states, online betting, and just create a whole new market, or at least a whole new level of it. Having a AI referee available to the public, maybe just to certain gyms. Maybe it's a combination of software and hardware, cameras that are mounted around above in the ceiling and whatnot. You could take in-house tournaments at gyms to a whole new level. You could stream it, have an AI announcer, maybe even deploy like pods around town, fight pods, which is really just like a shipping container equipped with padded walls and padded floors and cameras in the ceilings all over, so that it could monitor the fighters' movement on the inside. It would just be a small little space like those storage pods. They call them pods. They're like storage containers cut in half, kind of small. Something like that. Maybe that deploys and the walls open out a little bit and expands to like 10 by 10 at the very least for a one-on-one fight. And so it would allow two people to step in and have a fight and have their own personal announcer. They could choose the type of voice, the accent, the style of the voice, and they could stream on their social media platforms and start building themselves up with the following. Maybe have subscribers like Patreon. There's endless possibilities once we get AI learning jiu-jitsu. And of course it'll never be done learning, just like a person, because new techniques are being evolved all the time and stuff. And I think it'll just be a continual learning process, and it has great potential. So the testing the AI would obviously have to be done in a controlled environment. with deliberate moves to teach it certain things. So it would be a lot of almost fake fighting choreography, because we'd have to explain to the AI what's coming next or what it just saw. We'll have to show it moves. We'll say, hey, you know, this is an armbar. One variation, a basic variation of an armbar. You know, here's a rear naked choke. This is what happens when somebody sweeps. This is what happens when somebody mounts. This is what it looks like. So it would be a lot of slow learning and training. And well, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support and your prayers. So I'd just like to end by saying thank you if you've made it this far watching my presentation. And there'll be plenty more and much more content to come. It's going to be on a weekly basis. And hopefully we'll get our first interview lined up for the podcast. It might end up being over Zoom. Hopefully not, because the audio quality might suffer if the internet starts to buffer, you know. I don't want to deal with any of that. So I'm going to try to do as many of my interviews as possible in person for the podcast. That way we get the highest quality, you know, audio and video possible. Because I do plan on making it a video style podcast. I mean, of course it'll still be available on Spotify, audio only, for those that, you know, aren't able to watch. But where available, I would like to have video to aid in the description and you know, realizing some of these concepts that I'm trying to work out. So with all that being said, this is Travis Sobelvaro signing off. Until next time.